The only thing I know for certain is that I know nothing. Fixing magic, getting yelled at. No need to be the smartest. That will most likely only get in the way. Some say he's lazy. Why work harder when you can work like a dunce whisperer? Maybe it's the demons causing trouble for all. Can you fix that problem like any other? It's the tale of the dunce whisperer.
Okay, that seems really dark.
No, it's not dark. You're misunderstanding me, bro.
I think I am.
Yeah, you are. Because if the girl said no, then the answer obviously is no.
No.
But the thing is she's not gonna say no. She would never say no because of the implication.
All right, everyone. Welcome to the show. Thank you for showing up. Oh, wait, let me get that a little bit quiet. But oh, I'm black. Okay. All right. welcome. This is the last minute setup. We're very late, and I do have my guest with me as always for these spoiler discussions for the Rippaverse books. We got Everly Music. Welcome. All right, let's
Hi.
get Hey.
Dude, I hadn't seen your music video in a while. I forgot how ridiculous it is. It's just like the slide whistle and all that. It's good stuff.
Yeah. Welcome, War Shark. Welcome, IMA. Sure.
IMA?
Yeah, I know. Ridiculous. You did awesome on it. What's up, Phil? What's going on? Yeah, no, I figured I was like, shit, I need to do something. I'm tired of getting the copyright strikes from playing the, what is it? This
Bobby jacking off.
I love it, but it's just annoying. So, whenever you get that Horseman song done, that unless something happens, because it's obviously going to win the competition.
That would be awesome. I think that even if it doesn't win, I think people are still going to enjoy it a lot. So, I'll claim that the contest was rigged. So,
I mean, factually rigged. My opinion.
Whole thing.
According to the internet, my opinion is truth. I've been told that. So, and I know it to be true. So, if I say it's the best, then what are we even arguing?
What if it's like people are like, we really like the intro, the spoken part was really cool, but the song was terrible. Could you just drop the song? We'll just keep that first part.
I know, right? Yeah. What's a lie? That's there is no lie ever from me. How dare you? Welcome, Comics Mate. Thanks for joining us. Yeah, man, we're trying to do more reviews, but it is challenging with time and stuff. Like you can see spit from trying to put my kids to sleep for hours. Fucking bloody nose my kid had took like 30 minutes to get that to stop.
Jeez.
Yeah, I got really bad bloody nose myself. He got it from me, so Yeah.
One other thing that with the song, I plan on I'm gonna have to be yelling "come" at least like 10 or 15 times to fully flesh out the intro, which devoid of context, you're gonna be like, what is he talking about? Once you hear it, you'll be like, oh, but still kind of also funny. Like,
there's a big cum in there. There's a big cum in the song.
There's a build up, and then it's gonna be, yeah.
But it's a Christian cum though.
It is. It's directly from the Bible. It's COME. Get your head out of the gutter. What's wrong with you people? Jeez.
I know it's a baller line, but with in today's age, it's just like
with the state of the gooner.
Do we have to make that word so closely to such a common word?
But that's why I'm gonna record like 10 people. It's gonna be immense.
I should have been trolling you. I should have done the serious voice. Nobody understands the context of what we're talking about. I recorded something for a song. And I did a deep voice. I should have done the deep voice and then been like,
oh jeez.
No. But anyways, all right. Today, guys, we are doing a spoiler discussion because reviews are one thing. Spoiler discussions are better. Even if you haven't read it, maybe this is what turns you over. Maybe says like, "Hey, maybe I should buy this because I actually liked it," and get over hearing not hearing spoilers for things that you may or may not have even bought in the first place. So, and I get it if you're going to buy it, like you're going to buy it. I understand that, but it's kind of less likely. And people just need content to get that cathartic experience of seeing somebody else talking about something that they've read, and that's what we're here
I got to
for.
give a shout out to the Merc Lounge, who also does these like short solo reviews.
Yeah.
They're awesome at getting caught back up. Like I've read the books, but I'm like, what happened? Do I have 45 minutes to read it again? I watched his videos.
I should have done that.
This
Yeah,
is such a great recap. He hasn't done all of them yet, but his videos, I enjoy them quite a bit. And he throws in some speculation and what other people are talking about too, which is nice to hear.
I didn't do him for these books. I forgot, but I remember, like, I think it was our last review, and I watched his video. It's good. It's also good to get context from other people.
Yeah.
In preparation for your own review. But yeah, we're talking YAIRA 3 and Horseman. The Horseman. Number 1 doesn't say number 1, but I guess it is number 1, right?
You're right.
It's releasing
Because
right
the
now
new
is number
one's
2,
number 2.
which is also confusing too, because the previous Horseman, the first Horseman, was I guess like a pitch for the character, which is titled Horseman Welcome to Floorsport, or is it Welcome to Floorsport the Horseman or something like that, right?
Welcome to Horse Spark Flores, man. Pretty sure.
Either way, great. We both love that comic. I think we talked about it. Yeah, we did a full review on it.
Yeah, we did.
I think it was the best Rippaverse book, and we are going to be talking about the Horseman first before we talk about YAIRA 3. That discussion starts right now, I guess.
Okay.
But yeah, no, we really enjoyed Welcome to Floorsport. I think it was the best Rippaverse book that they have. And I think the character is the best character that they have for the Rippaverse right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this book continued this. I'm going to get into like my real feelings about this book. Like early on, like this book was a banger. Like, really good, especially standing up to just general stories and overall, like, I really like this character, like a lot, a lot. Like the type of issues that he's going through and the way that he's written by Chuck Dixon, I really like this character. It's the same reasons why I really like, Punisher and Batman and Captain America. And I think he's taken a lot of those aspects that I do like from those characters and kind of mashing it into this character. And like, no shit, this is not just like glazing up. This is genuinely like one of my probably like favorite characters right now.
Yeah, I agree with everything you said. My only problem with it is that it ends, and I was not ready for it to end. I'm like, I need the next one.
Yeah. This was a little bit more cliffhangery than some of the other Rippaverse books we get, but that's fine. I'm used to that. That's very typical things for comics. Yeah, I mean, like, I got criticisms about the design of the character. Generally speaking, I like the character design, but, like, again, guys, he has 4 ears. 4 ears. There's 2 ears on the, there's ears on the helmet, and then his 2 ears are poking out. Just cover the human ears, or get rid of the ears on the mask.
This might be, they might be doing it for practical reasons. Like, if I cover my ears, I can't hear, so... He's just really bad at hearing when he's fighting. But I mean, that's sort of a silly issue, It's like it's a comic. Cover the ears. But I'm with you. I think he's a little bit.
No. Because his ears are like, what if like a bullet whizzes by? And also, like, they have Ear Pro. They have Ear Pro that, like, look like legitimate headphones, and they got like fucking. You can hear normally.
So what if
they actually can hear better with them
over
on
top of it?
It's like hearing aids.
What about one ear exposed, one covered? We'll compromise.
That'll work. I will say, and I don't know if it's intentional, but it does kind of look like a backwards baseball cap in some of the panels. So I think, and I don't know if that was intentional, but if it is, that's kind of cool.
Maybe that's why I think he's so cool.
Yeah. That and like maybe darken up the blue. The Mohawk, I've grown on the Mohawk. I dig it, but everything else, I dig. I dig it.
Yeah. Yeah. I think
Oh,
it's
he
a
needs to be
design.
riding a motorcycle though, right? He's a horseman.
Yeah. I mean, that does track. It's not a very practical vehicle, but maybe he'll get to that point.
He's
We're
got his
not-
ears
we're just going-
exposed. He's a horseman. It's like the Ghost Rider, right? Like that's why it's like when the Ghost Rider, when they came out with that version, he's driving a car. It's like you drive
I
you
didn't
drive
see
a
that,
car.
but
You,
that-
like you can ride. You don't. No, it's supposed to be like new age, present day Ghost Rider. He rides a freaking motorcycle because it's the modern day horse.
What if he's on one of those fake motorcycles where it's 2 wheels in the front and just 1 in the back? So it's like you want the experience, but you want the safety too.
A trike? No. I will lose so much. I will literally burn the comic. Eric, anyone from the Rippaverse, you put him on a trike, you're dead to me. No more Rippaverse books.
What if it has spinner rims? Would that help?
You brought me
There's
back.
Big
You
spoilers.
lost me. You made me hate it, and now I'm in love again.
What if he's the character that can actually make a trike cool? Maybe there's something there. I don't know.
No, as I dirt biked most of my childhood. I grew up dirt biking.
Cranking hog.
We have a hate for quads and trikes. It's the thing. The 2 wheels can't stand the 3 and 4 wheels. They take up more of the track. I mean, 3 wheels are just dangerous.
This is very true. This thing's
Well, then like
real
a Harley
easy.
ride, you ever see Harley ride or motorcycle riders? They always do the, whenever you pass, or like they do the wave. Because I have a Harley, and then you get the trike people, and you just want to like you're not in the club, dude. What are you doing? Because other bike riders do the whole like wave to other bike riders. Not
Have you seen a
guys.
trike?
They try to get in on it, and
where
I'm
there's
like, nah.
12 trikes and they're riding on the highway together. I've only seen it one time, and it was
It's just like, but it's
I
a
felt
bunch
like
of
the Oscar Mayer-
retired 50-year-old guys that are just have
Yeah.
like a buttload of money, and they're like,
Yes.
oh, we could start riding motorcycles now at our old age. Oh, maybe not 2 wheels. Oh, let's let's get a try. Let's be safe, guys.
Yeah, Tabitha says 2 wheels is too dangerous. Oh, Rebecca's the same way, man.
Yeah.
We got to get 3. Hey,
Yeah, I
does Jerry
can't
still
hold the
drive
weight of the motorcycle, if I lean. So like, well, no.
Speaking of you, Lean, if Eileen said I couldn't have one either. And then at the back of it, so there's like a herd of them, like 12, and then coming up at the rear is their buddy who drives the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile, and that's just at the back. And that's
Guys, this is no longer the Rippaverse Horseman spoiler discussion. This is now motorcycles versus trikes and why trikes are gay. And no, seriously, it's like it was funny when I was younger with like motorcycles because like they like there was a lot of quads, ATVs in I used to go to this track, like there's a couple tracks, and they have like an ATV only track, and it's really dope, really big, and it's like, okay, the ATVs stay there, and technically they can go on some of the motorcycle tracks, but every time they did, it was just everybody's pissed because like they take up half the track, and it's just like it completely changes it. So it's just fuck them. Anyways, I'm off that. Eric, if you put him on a trike, you're dead to me. Actually, his villain
That's right.
his villain could be the trike rider.
I mean, like, how do we make people hate this guy?
Red
immediately?
shift.
What do we do? Should he kick a puppy?
Red shift.
It's on a trike. Beautiful.
Yeah, we were watching Drink the Crazies channel, and there, he had Andy Andrew talk about blue shift, and I pitched red shift, which I think you're stupid if you don't do them. And I'm like, he's got a Glock and a motorcycle, like Shadow. Put him on a trike and a Glock.
I would read that book. I would buy the signed variant foil in a case.
Yeah.
I'd do it all. That sounds hilarious.
Yeah, and he's just really upset everyone because he can't get any respect from anyone. All right, sorry, so we really need to talk about the book that we're
Oh, I mean,
we could
that
talk
was
about
worth
Red
it.
Shift
That was
afterwards.
worth
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
All right, give us the rundown.
Sure, yeah. So Horseman, number one. Hector was once a hunter of the deadliest threats alive, a member of the Black Ops unit known as the Four Horsemen. They didn't call themselves that, but that was the name given to them. They're not that big of an a-holes, I think is the line from the book. But when his team is killed in the line of duty, Hector walks away from the battlefield and into civilian life that barely holds together. Now stuck in a dead-end job and living with family who don't understand him, he's haunted by a past he can't outrun. That's the little rundown they do on the Rippaverse page.
Yeah, imagine if you're like you and your three friends. You're like, they call us the Horsemen. Like nobody's called you that. Like no, they do call us
though.
that.
For real, guys. Like seriously,
I promise you. No, so it opens up action packed and it's like flashback into his war times. So yeah, we get like a little peek at his like squad, and it's done. I think compact. That little like it's brief. It's not too long. We don't like spend too much time on the past, and I think we get just enough of the taste of like kind of what happened with him and his squad. Enough to really kind of give you the impact of what was going on. I do think there was a little bit too much dialogue, and I think it's kind of throughout the comic a little bit. I think there's a little bit too much captions from what's the Horseman's first name?
Hector.
Yeah, Hector. I think there's just a little bit too much of Hector kind of describing what's going on. I didn't need it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, there was some good lines in here. I was okay
absolutely
with it,
some
but I
banger
do
lines,
know what you mean. Yeah, like there's I like to. I don't know if this is. A part of me wants to know if the name's Speed, because the other guys just have normal names, but his buddy's name is Speed, and I'm like, is that just a thing, or is this guy
No, they
a fan
probably
of
just
soil work?
nicknamed him Speed, and like sometimes it's like, especially like if your combat buddies, like your whatever they call you, like that's your name. You know what I mean?
Well, it's Deacon, Rick, and Hector. I'm like, those are names, and then you got Speed. I'm just thinking there's a guy named Bjorn Speed Strid, and I'm like, are these guys Soilwork fans? I'm going to pretend that they are because I think that's cool. But there's some good lines in here where he's recalling what it was like being, part of that squad. He's like, we were giants. We made the rules. Every day was different, and every day was new, and I never wanted it to end. And then his buddies start dying, and he's the only one left.
This was one of the best pages. I love how impactful and the story writing of this page. Like the last of the flashbacks. You get like the top, you get a big panel of them just kind of like walking in the sunset of destruction in the past, and you get the caption, "That's how kids think, wishing every day was Christmas." Talking about like, referencing how like they had so much fun, like they really enjoyed the thrill of combat. And then right next, the next three panels are three panels of the descriptions and a little bit showing of how the three other horsemen died. And do you notice something specific about the way that they died?
IED, helicopter, and then Christmas.
So
is it because one guy is clearly not overseas when he dies? It appears like he's back home.
None of them died in actual combat.
You don't think so?
Yeah, IED. So like the thing about IEDs, that's
I see. Like it's not a firefight,
random explosive.
They just hit it. Yeah.
You step on it. Like I had my buddy walked on IED and got his legs blown up. All he heard was like click, or like he didn't really hear anything. So it's just there was no like gunfire, like blades of glory. Just stepped in IED, done. Other guy, just chopper went down. I think he would have been more specific if it got rocket down. So like it could have just. It looks like it just crashed into a mountain or something like that. Whichever way, like he's riding in the helicopter. So he's not in a firefight like they have been in the previous pages, and the last one. Who, suicide, which is the unfortunate fact that happens to many, many, many soldiers. And I think it was even better just the way that it was phrased, where when he describes how his last friend died was, I don't want to think about that one,
Yeah.
is really hard, and it's kind of going into, you know, then the next couple of pages. You got right off the bat, he's talking to a therapist, which kind of I'm trying to remember how that discussion went. But yeah, he's talking about like he's just looking for a thrill. And okay, so let me clear something up real quick. You know, I was in the military, I was in the Marine Corps. And people here I was in the Marine Corps, they assume I saw combat. Never did. Never went over to Afghanistan or anything like that. So just want to make that very clear. Because people tend to make that assumption when I say I was in the Marine Corps. However, lived with plenty of people, supervised by plenty of people that did, and you know, I've experienced and seen very similar symptoms of what Hector is dealing with, and it's a lot of the times it's like you get these guys and they're just like, man, I'll do anything to go back to the desert, and you're like, really, you want to go back to the desert? And it's always there. I'll do anything. It's because the being in combat gave them purpose. You took purpose out of their life, and how do you find purpose in when you go from something like combat and, you know, risking your life and everything like that? How do you find that in the daily 9 to 5 grind? It's like
that, and then you throw in like the oh, sorry, I'm gonna cut you off.
No. Go. Sorry.
I was just gonna say, then you throw in like just the absolute, like the adrenaline spikes are insane, and it's every day. You know, you got these giant guns, you're throwing lead and blowing up stuff and taking out bad guys. You're high-fiving. You got your dip. You got your drink. You got your whatever. All of that stuff. You're with your boys. You're high-fiving. It's just like, yeah. He said, I think there's a line in here. I don't know when it pops up, but he says, even the worst days there were better than the good days being back, kind of thing.
Yeah, and I think we just get a really good interpretation of that. And I don't know, maybe it's because I've seen so many people struggle with this, and I really, I get drawn to it when I see it in stories, and I feel like I can see the stories matching what I've also seen, you know, in real life. So that's what part of this is really attracting me.
Right there.
Yeah, and you see it like he can't let go of the fight, and that's why I kind of like get like Captain America kind of like vibes, where it's like the war never stops with Captain America, right? And that's kind of what's going on with him. He gets in a situation where he hears a pool party, but he mistakes it for somebody being attacked, and then he
the kids are playing around with like water pistols and be like, "Oh, I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna kill you," and he thinks it's a threat, and his conditioning just kicks in. He runs through the fence. It's fantastic. The dad's like grown, like, what the heck?
Yeah, and then he's trying to do some hobbies. I used to enjoy biking when I was 10. Turned out golf wasn't my game either. Any kind. He's like playing mini golf, and he's fuck motherfucker.
Yeah.
Hey, you mentioned him, and well, I guess it's been a while since you mentioned, but welcome, Merc Lounge. Welcome.
Yeah, we were talking about you at the right before this review started, I think, but there's just a lot of moments in here. I like too when he's talking to the therapist. He's not like emo about it. He's just, the guy's like, "Are you like seeking thrills?" He's like, I guess, I don't know. I'm just like trying to like feel normal or whatever. And he's like, "Well, here, I'll give you some pills." He's like, I'd rather feel bad than feel nothing. But he's not like whiny. He's just going about, and he's like, I'd run like 15 miles a day. And he's like, does it help? He's like, when I'm running, but you can't run all day every day. So it's just, I don't know. The writing is just awesome. Really good.
Well, it's also like the quiet times. When things get quiet, they'll start thinking of the dark things, and and then so after we get to see that struggle that he's dealing with, we see the other struggle he's dealing with at home with his. So remind me again, because this is a confusing relationship.
It's his sister, right? Because he refers to her husband who died as the brother-in-law, which makes this his sister. Pretty sure.
No. It's not his. It's also his sister-in-law. It's his wife's brother's wife. I'm pretty sure.
Okay, that would make way more sense to me, because I'm like, okay, he's like Caballero. She looks Irish. Like, are they?
Yeah.
So that makes way more sense now. Okay.
He fought with his. I think it was told to us in Welcome Floor Sport, but I think he served with his brother too, or his brother-in-law.
I think that's right.
Because there's also no way that they're related. I get there's some pale ass Mexicans, but Hector looks nothing like her.
That's why I was confused. And that'd be
But the nephew looks like him.
that makes more sense. Yeah. Which
So
that makes sense.
yeah, I mean,
In any case,
confusing.
he's
I
over
know.
there
Like, I
with
remember
her.
it bothering me
It's
trying to remember
it's-
exactly.
It's family. It's a sister-in-law, or we assume sister-in-law and the nephew. It's his family. Bottom line,
Yeah.
regardless of exactly how
And-
the family tree is shaped.
And she just knows that the nephew's gonna look up to Hector, and that's why she's so concerned about Hector not doing the right thing and kind of getting, being a being a bad role model, right? And she's just like, do normal stuff, like get to do normal work, be a role model like that way. And he does do normal work, and we see he excels at that. And Kahuna always said he worked with vets before, and he's just like, you get two kinds of vets, and it's like you get shit bags, and you get the ones that are just like workhorses. And obviously Hector's the workhorse. Where it's just,
I do.
Yeah.
Before getting into his factory job, there's a couple panels here that I made note of because the conversation here is fantastic. It's whenever she's like, we have parental controls on everything. I monitor everything he watches, everything he reads. And then you take him mini golfing, and it's this R-rated affair. Can you tone down the language around my son? And the kid tells him, he's like, I didn't rat on you, Uncle Heck. He's like, I just asked Mom what a 4-letter word was. And he's like, buddy, please. Just that whole that scene. I was like, yeah, that's hilarious. And then, yes, as you were saying, then he's got this job at Unipacket where he's the workhorse guy, and he just is.
Oh, Unipacket. I've been reading Oni Packet.
Oh. I thought it was like packet. I don't know.
No.
It looks like Oni,
That would
Oni.
make more sense because I don't know what Onis would have to do with delivery, but we're moving.
Yes.
But yeah,
So he's
he
working
goes
it
back.
there, and he's
No, you go.
I was just gonna say he's working at the place, and he's just talking about like he's living a life without a purpose. I had a purpose, but he's the only one who sees it, and he's just like, this job is like soul crushing.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's back home, and he's thinking about the Horseman. He's checking out the Horseman gear, and his nephew Danny pops in, sees him looking at that stuff, and is just like, why'd you stop doing that? Another great line here. He says, real good guys know sometimes you have to leave the fight. And then the mom calls him down. He goes down there and all this sort of stuff, and he makes a deal to go see a movie, which the name of the movie is Grinder Groundhogs.
I also love like the sister-in-law like yelling down like, come down here, and it's just like they're sneaking away with the horseman, like, oh dude, you can't do this, she's gonna see. And then I'm like, oh no. Everything's in the attic and she's in a wheelchair. They don't have to worry about her seeing it.
That's so true.
So messed up.
I forgot about that little detail until you just pointed it out.
Yeah, because I always get like, I get so annoyed. It's like, come on, man, like don't get caught. But I'm like, oh yeah, you can't get caught.
So he eventually,
feels
he's
like
like
bullying.
the next day. Yeah. The next day he's driving, and he's like, this sucks, but I'm just gonna have to get used to it. And as he's driving in traffic, there's a huge billboard asking, "Are you the Horseman? Text yes to phone number." And he's like, "I'm bored. I'm
you
curious
do that,
how
you're gonna
bad
get a
could it
lot
be?"
of dick pics though. Text yes. You imagine how many people are gonna be like, yes, I'm the Horseman, and then just send a dick pic.
I didn't think of it, but now you're saying, I'm like, oh yeah, that probably would
Yeah,
be.
100%. You know it.
And Cal's probably like, nice.
It's like he finally shows up. He's like, oh, thank God. You know how many dick pics I've been looking through?
So he texts the number, and they want to meet him, and it's at the bowling alley. And I'm pretty sure it's the same one that he got in that fight with the Blitzkrieg duo in the last book. And so he goes in there, and he's like, "Is it a trap?" So he's got his whole suit on. He's got the guns drawn. And there's one of the best pages I think in the whole book is on the next page where he's got like his baton and the lights glaring off of it.
Yeah.
And so we're introduced to the character Cal Buxton, and he wants to hire the Horseman. But the guy is a little bit shady.
Shady.
You could say. He is also wearing sunglasses inside of a dark bowling alley. That's my joke. He's a tech guy. He's rich, but he wants to hire Hector to. He's like, look, whenever you were like beating up people, is making Floor Spark safer, which is good for my business. So if I just give you a bunch of money, could you just keep doing what you were doing? And he basically declines. But even though he declines, this Cal Buxton character leaves a ton of money on Hector's car. So he's like, this is over $1 million. But so he declined, but he still has all this money. So he sees
Still
this guy
turns down the
real.
money, yeah.
Yep. And Cal is talking to his helicopter pilot, and he says, everybody's got a price. She's like, he's principled, though. And he's like, okay, well, we'll appeal to his principles then. And this is where you see this dude is not just shady. He's, evil.
And it takes such a dark turn.
Yes.
In such a good story writing way where I'm just like, ooh, this guy basically kills his neighbor's kid from a drug overdose, right? And I mean, it's insinuated that this guy set that all up, that he, got it. And then they're like, what was it? The sister-in-law is like, oh my God, this is terrible. 15 years
she
old.
was taking Adderall to study for the pre-SATs, but the Adderall had fentanyl in them.
Fentanyl, which is coming from the borders, which is, part of what he was stopping and what he's getting asked to stop. And you just get this determined look on Hector's face when he like gets the news. And he's like, and he knows, he's like, I could do something about this. And once he's get that thought of I could do something about this, he's not gonna not do something about it because of the type of character he is. And I'm like, this is great that he's being used like this, right? Like from a storytelling perspective,
Right.
It feels real, and it says a lot about the character.
And it's not going to end well because he made the promise to Alpha Core that he was done. He made the promise to Patty that he was done. And you just know it's not going to end well at some point. Something's going to go sideways and ass backwards and all to hell, as he would word it.
Yeah, there's also like I've done it in some of my stories too. It's like the soldier that keeps getting used. I haven't seen it here where it's just like typically it's like they got used and abused by the government, thrown away, and then they keep on getting into these cycles where like people keep on trying to take advantage of their lethality, and just using and abusing them more. And it's just so he's just being like the previous issue, he's being used again, but in a different way. And it just was a really smart way for the villain to manipulate him, and it's also going to make it a good emotional impact of us wanting for whenever this really turns over for the Horseman to get his revenge. You know?
For sure.
I don't know. I'm just like really interested to see what direction this story is going to go now.
Yeah. So after that, obviously Hector bites and he calls Cal back and is like, all right, I'm in, but I'm calling the shots here. I want to do my own thing. And if I decide at some point that, I don't like what we're doing anymore, I'm keeping all the stuff. So he starts building what he calls his stable. And
of course, right.
Yeah, of course. And because this tech guy, he owns a ton of, real estate, and this place is just empty. So he starts building it up.
He gets a Humvee built.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, takes apart and reassembles a
take the Humvee motor out and put it on a fucking Harley, bro.
That would be pretty sick. So he does that, and he's working hours at his job, and then he's putting in a ton of hours doing Horseman stuff, building a stable, and at his job he's falling asleep. His boss is yelling at him, and so he's doing all that, and he says at one point it would get lonely if it weren't so fun.
Right, yeah.
So then he gets his first job from Cal. He does all this stuff, and he finally says, like, no, I'm ready to start working. So what do you got? He's like, great, we got a job for you. There's going to be some kind of transaction, selling, buying, whatever. Just go there and do your thing. Just go and take care of these guys. And he goes there, and he didn't have this night vision in the other book, I don't believe. But he's got.
I assume
he's
because now he has a a patron is paid for.
Yeah, he's got the tech billionaire funding him. So he's got this night vision. He's just scoping the scene. He's seeing what's going on, and he's figuring that they got dope, cigarettes, guns, God knows what. The law won't allow. So he's just checking it out. But then he suddenly feels like I don't want to move yet. He said his lizard brain, his spidey senses are tingling. Where he's like, I can't move. Something's off. And that delay that he has right there was correct. He even says, there's a line, he's like, thank you, Lizardo, or something. And the hesitation was because Alpha Core was about to show up and start doing their thing. And they do. They're just really cool. Full-page spread here where Ingrid Valdez channels her Jordan B. Peterson because she pulls out her energy whips and she says,
Drop a bucko.
hey, drop it,
Hey, bucko.
Hey, Bucko, drop it. Put down that pew pew, Bucko. That cracked me up when she said that. So, yeah. So Alpha Core beats the guys up, and then he says something in Spanish here, and my Spanish is awful anymore. I used to be like semi-fluent. I just didn't practice for about 15 years and forgot most of it. He says, "Ay, mis bolas." I don't know what a bolas is. And he says, "I'm sorry."
No idea.
Setiano derecho. Pronunciation. Something about silencing. You have the right to remain silent. I think is that one. Anyways, so that happens, and he basically realizes if he had just running guns a-blazing, it would have caused problems because Alpha Core...
Oh, my balls. Thank you, Merc.
Oh, it is balls. I thought that was ballos. Anyways.
I thought don't they call them huevos, like eggs?
Pelotas?
No, I've been told that like Mexicans will call their balls huevos because testicles look like eggs.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
So Alpha Core reveals that the whatever the package was, the deal was actually a cargo trailer, like movement container full of girls. And as he says, they weren't buying them the wait tables. But he realizes that if he had gone in guns a-blazing, he didn't know there was girls in there. He would have just shot all of them up too. Yeah, so it could have been really, really bad. And so that was just a little lesson he learned from there. And he calls Cal, and he's just like, as I said earlier, it went sideways, ass backwards, and all to hell. And he goes, oh, dear. And he goes, Alpha Core was there, and Cal Buxton goes, oh, dear. So he says, fix it, or our partnership is over, and he's keeping all the stuff. So I guess I got the timeline of him saying he's keeping all the stuff wrong, but whatever.
Yeah.
Then we cut to he's the tech bill cow guy. He's at his pool, and we are introduced to his brain trust of Daltrey, Fat, and Prissy. And basically they're trying to figure out, how to make sure that they're one step ahead of Alpha Core, and they get a confidential informant. And he says, all we need to do is buy a few of them. And I thought this was interesting that that conversation, we reveal later on, you get to see who they're getting, I think, right, to be the confident. And I thought that was, I'm like, why would they do that? You could have just told us that this was happening and then just been like, things are smooth. So it makes me think that character must be a little bit more important.
Maybe.
But,
I don't know.
So before we get to that scene,
I'll be honest, but...
it cuts back to the house, and Hector's sleeping, and Patty wakes him up, and they're talking. But she reveals that she has a boyfriend she's seeing now, and she doesn't want Danny to meet him just yet because she doesn't want him to get attached if it's not going to be the real thing. But I don't know. I'm like, why is she mentioning she's seeing somebody? And I'm like, is Buxton also? And I think Merc pointed this out too. I'm like, is Buxton got something? Has he got his hands in that too? Because he was saying, hey, if you can't fix this, I'm out and I'm keeping your stuff. And Cal's like, there's no out, friend. So he's got like a guy seeing her as a backup plan for leverage if needed. So I that could be, but
might be.
Yeah, I think that was a Merc. He mentioned that.
All I know,
like,
and I'm gonna say this now, like, however this arc goes, the Horseman is gonna be a part of the Alpha Core. That's gonna be like how it ends. I feel like.
He's saying that maybe it's possible Buxton is the man she's seeing. That would be
Which
intense.
one was Buxton?
Like, I'm seeing this guy. I'm not sure I feel him. He's the main bad guy. He's like, I'm not sure I feel about him. He picked me up in a private jet and took me out for golden dipped lobster. but I'm not sure. So there's that little conversation, and yeah, she just talks about the boyfriend, and then she's like, and you're late for work. So then we cut to this rundown mobile home park, and we see a couple of Cal's guys talking to a fella named, I wrote it down here, his name like Tilly or Tolly. I can't remember. It's on here somewhere. McGoley? McTilly. Oh, wait, there it is. Timkins? Mr. Timkins. Goalie Timkins. And he says something, he's talking to them, and then he's like, what do I tell the Rangers? Have we seen the name the Rangers anywhere else? Because Goalie Timkins is talking to these guys. He's like, yeah, I'll do it, but what do you want me to tell the Rangers? And they just say, whatever you want, as long as it's not the same as the intel you sell us.
I guess it wouldn't make sense for it to be the Army Rangers, because that's what I assumed, but I guess that wouldn't make sense.
That's what I wasn't sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's
All right,
probably the Texas Rangers. Oh, okay, yeah. They're in Texas. They got Texas Rangers, like the cops.
Oh, okay. I was like, isn't that a sports ball team? That would be a twist. Chauvis started hitting baseball. So he's in. He's going to snitch, and he's going to be their informant. So then the next time he gets a job, it's on good info. Alpha Core's not going to be showing up. And there is a drug factory that he is basically going in to bust up this operation, and he makes an entrance. He does some drone surveillance. He talks about, the drone only cost him $40, and he got a discount for buying 20 of them. And these guys are shooting at the drones and stuff, and while they're distracted, he just runs over a guy with his Humvee. And then we see some of the other things he's done to the Humvee, like it looks like a chain gun, but he's saying it's shooting buckshot, so he's just like driving in, just like wasting everybody.
I mean, it could be an automatic. I do remember that. Yeah, I mean, they do have automatic shotguns. Yeah. Shotgun minigun. Yeah, it is awesome.
It's pretty brutal. These guys are shooting at him, and his ride is so ridiculous. He's just wasting everybody.
Oh, get it, buckshot though. Buck. No, that's deer. What am I thinking?
I was like, oh, that's not a horse.
Sorry, wrong.
Come. So he tells all the ladies in the factory, he's like, hey, you need to get out of the factory because I'm shooting everybody. And they go running off. And then he says, not you. I don't know if I can say the Spanish C word on air if it'd be an issue. He calls somebody sort of sounds like carbonara, but isn't quite. And that's where it ends. That's the end of the book, right when he's starting raiding this place. And that's what I was saying that was one of my complaints, because I'm like, dude, you're just getting to him kicking butt again, and then they cut it. And I'm like,
Yeah, I mean, that's you got to get issue 2. Which 100% definitely going to get issue 2. Like, I 100%, like, no question, like, sometimes you're like, I'll get another issue, just, see if it, like, picks up or something like that. This is definitely one of the books where I'm like, I need to see where this is going to go.
Yeah.
This is awesome.
This Great War separation, like, it gets harder because these books, again, they're not cheap. We got bills, we got other things. I do all kinds of other stuff, too, that costs money. So I'm like, I got to be a little bit more choosy about which books to get. And I'm like, this one, I'm like, I gotta get the next one. If I gotta cut somewhere else, I will. But I gotta get the next one. And then I feel the same way about Great War Separation too. Like that two series, I'm just like,
yeah, Trek Fiction is fucking great, man. This character, the trials the character's going through, his personality, I love it. I dig it. This is my man. I remember I was messaging while I was reading this. I'm like, bro, this is so good. Like, this is, Captain America meets Punisher. I know a lot of people say it's blue collar Batman, right? But yeah, no, I love it. The guy's got heart. He's got, a great moral compass, and he's a fucking badass, dude. He's Billy Badass, and he's got. He's not all talk. He has a history to back up his badassery. Like, this guy's got everything going for him, except for superpowers. But sometimes the non-superpower guys are the coolest, because it's just like, they're going to, they're keeping up with giants. That's part of what makes Batman so awesome. I don't know. Overall thoughts.
I mean, Merck was saying he enjoyed this better than Welcome to Flourish Park. I think I probably liked Flourish Park better, but only by like a hair. This one's really cool. It was nice to see his backstory a little bit. It's just so well written. You get more of the character and the new setup with, new bad guys. I think that Cal Buxton is a far more interesting bad guy than, Big Tuna Calhoun. And I think there's more of a potential here, too, even than the what are the names? Wasn't it like Blitzkrieg and like Steeler? Whoever the two guys
We'll
were
see
on
them.
the
We'll
other
see
one.
them again, probably. The Nazis, right?
Yeah. But I
think
enjoyed
this
it a
one
lot.
was better. I'll to be honest. I think Welcome to Floydsburg was more of a complete story.
Mm-hmm.
In that sense, obviously, it's easier to feel more satisfaction from it. But I think how the backstory was delivered in this, and again, I think like Welcome to Floydsburg did something so well. Again, how he's being used and abused in that one was great, but like in this one, I think it's just slightly better. And yeah, man, I don't know. I'm just kind of like, what else is Chuck Dixon gonna throw to us after this? But yeah, I think slightly, I think this one's better. Yeah.
That's fair. I think that's totally fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I should have Norfolka really soon. I should have that. I know it got shipped already.
Oh, lucky.
And that's another one that's written by Eric July, right?
I believe so, but I'm hyped about that one.
Yeah.
Anytime there's bands and like superpowers, I'm just like, yes.
Yeah, that's what everybody's like super stoked about. A bunch of metalheads in the scene.
Yeah.
I'm interested because I'm it's Eric. I know he wrote that one Ripazine story, but I haven't read it. And ISOM is just like first writing, and obviously really rough around the edges. There's some good stuff there, but not really my flavor necessarily, right? But and then his short story in
Saints and Sinners.
it just wasn't a short story, and it just was like a premise to a story, and it was just disappointing. But I'm really excited to see this and see if like what else Eric's got to bring to the table, because I think he's got potential to have some really good story writing. And yeah, I think it's got some cool character designs, and let's see what it's got.
Actually, I like Item a lot. Like those books, I understand people that have complaints with them, but his character, like the more I see of his character, I'm like, oh, there's a lot more going on with him than I thought originally. Yeah. So looking forward to whatever we do next.
Yeah, I think it's to me, like the character design's not great. Like I like the axe design. His symbol's cool, but I didn't really get why it's like an axe.
What's an axe?
So his symbol, like the T-shirt behind you, is that not supposed to be an axe?
I think it's supposed to just be a
It's supposed
cross
to be a
in
cross.
front of an eye, and then the circle is just like fluidity or something.
Oh, I thought it was like an axe.
Maybe he'll get.
You see what I'm seeing, right? It looks like an axe.
Oh yeah, for sure. But I think if you cover up the like cover these two parts, like cover that and cover that.
Oh, yeah, it's
space
like a
plays
banner.
into it.
It's a banner with a cross on it.
Yeah, like
Okay.
an eye, and then it's got like the crude cross,
Makes
and
sense. That makes sense.
then to me the circle. I don't know.
Why
Some-
orange?
Ooh, I don't know. Maybe he really likes pumpkin spice lattes. That'd be hilarious. He's driving around.
That's his secret.
It's good.
I don't wear a mask. My real mask is my love for pumpkin spice lattes. No, I'm curious if there's, because I mean, when you're picking color, I have that thought process in there. And since there's not really too much to work off of from his costume, maybe the color has something going on. I like orange because I rode KTMs for when I did bike, so that was my thing. So I'm reading comments. Felt the same for the Weight Exchange short story, but in the end, I want to know more of Sam, and he's the only reason why I would see another short story continuing that story. Hopefully, it's better. Yeah, like I said, I mean, it was a premise. and I know that we see Sam, and I think he's part of what's going on in the bigger story of Isom, which is again interesting. But like my main complaint was, I'm like, this is a short story, so that was like, and a couple of the short stories were like that, but like Eric's was kind of the worst at doing that, where I'm like, it's just a sliver of a taste, man. But yeah. So all right. So what else do we want to talk about in our little intro before we get to Yaira 3?
That's my purse. I don't know you.
Okay. And all right, now
Not that, not
move to the
covered.
Sasuke sisters.
So, Yaira 3. Yaira is back, and trouble's closing in fast. Nightmares, chaos, and rising tensions converge as she finds herself haunted, and surrounded by eyes watching her every move. With the world closing in and dangerous forces working behind the scenes, Yaira must act quickly to stay ahead of the threats mounting around her, both seen and unseen. As Dr. Sally Bell, she embarks on a high-stakes mission with projectiles that leads her deep below the surface, where ancient mysteries and powerful enemies wait. With trusted allies by her side and her secret identity hanging by a thread, Yaira faces new dangers, old wounds, and the looming question: who's truly pulling the strings? That was just the summary, and I think that's a kind of a taste of, I think, our thoughts on this book overall is a lot, right? Just a little summary, just a lot.
So when I first reviewed Yaira 1, I liked Yaira 1. I think it gave us a lot of what the other Rippaverse books, which wasn't many at the time, wasn't giving us. It gave us like more story. There was a lack. It's very similar to these other two, where it is going all over the place, but the story is more contained to. It wasn't as wild. Where Yaira 2 kind of went off a little bit of the rails, and we didn't like Yaira 2. It was disappointing, and I think this continued that, where it was just there was so much going on, so many ideas. We were talking a little bit before, where it was just like, man, some of these ideas are really cool, but I feel like you're just shotgunning at us, and it's just like before you have time to really like absorb anything, it's just like we're on to the next one. We're on to the next one. And that's like it reminds me of like what South Park, the creator, said a long time ago in a class, where it's just like, to write a good story, it needs to be like, this happens because of this, and this happened because of this, or whatever, something like that. And what you don't want is a story to be like, and then this happens, and then this happens, where it just felt like, and then this happens, and then this happens. Yeah. Yaira's attacked by a spider, and then she's attacked by the blonde guy, and then she's attacked by, it just really was just scattered, and it's really hard to like kind of like, if I were to like summarize this story to somebody, like, yeah, like occur and are revealed, and I'm like, whoa,
yeah,
yeah,
it's I'm right there with you. It the first time I read it, I finished it and I was like, but what? And then the second time I read it, I'm like, okay, I'm tracking a little bit better this time, so I enjoyed it a little bit more. And like you said, some of the stuff in here is just awesome. There's some really, really cool characters that are introduced, some really awesome designs. But yeah, I'm like, it was hard to process and enjoy the cool moments, because it was just, it's the analogy, it's like drinking water out of a fire hose a little bit. It's just so much. And I'm like, wait, this guy, is this? And then you throw in like the dream realm, and I'm like, so is this a dream? Is this reality? Is this
that one
flashbacks for a page? And then like
the astral realm introduction, that was, I remember getting to that point, that upset me. I kind of was like really annoyed at that point. I think we also had like a big complaint about just too much dialogue in Yaira 1, Yaira 2. Slightly. Now, if that was toned down due to criticism or just happenstance, because there's a lot of dialogue in the other two. But it's still, either way, it's too much in this one as well.
Okay, in your mind, when you read Yaira, is it more like Saturday morning cartoons, or is it more like epic, like serious fantasy superhero stuff?
Well, that's the thing. I feel like this is very dramatized, Yaira. Like when you're reading it, it's very like, I don't know, like this is yeah, I think like maybe not Saturday morning cartoons, but cartoons like kind of narrating something.
Yeah, it's
Um
there's moments where
but yeah, like you know, when we said Saints and Sinners, we really or we're lagging a bit every now and again. Oh shit, man. I hope that's on your side. Fuck.
you haven't been lagging for me. I think there's a slight delay between whenever I say something and you hearing it, but it's like 2 seconds. But you haven't been lagging, so hopefully everything's cool.
Okay, cool. All right. Well, shit. Yeah, we really liked her the Sasuke sister story for Saints and Sinners.
Yeah, that was good. Really good.
Yeah, it was really good, and then it's just I don't see that in Yaira, like the way that story was, like his personality and how he connects with the characters around him was really pleasing. I don't see that with the characters in Yaira.
There was a couple moments towards the end where Yaira, it's more towards that than it had been in the other 2 books, I think, but it didn't land with as much like oomph. And that may have just been, again, when I'm reading this one, I had trouble with the tone. I couldn't tell exactly what it was because it feels very serious. She's killed people. They're trying to kill her.
Right,
like,
yeah.
The stakes are high. But then she'll be like throwing out these silly quips and one-liners at certain points in the battle. And I'm like, that it just felt out of place. And I don't know, maybe I'm reading it.
No, I think you're right. I think that's kind of
me.
where we're getting that weird feeling from it too. After Yaira 2.
Yeah, and there's the
Spain,
Carrie
yeah.
Jones. So it opens in Spain, and she punches Carrie Jones, this reporter, which at first was like, whoa, geez, but then of course it's not actually Carrie Jones. It's who was it instead? It was the other. It was not Gesundheit, right? It was she punches it, right? It wasn't it Magus Zunite or yeah, Magus Kunzite.
Real quick,
Kunzite, as it was.
Real quick. 420 from Wrangler.
Thank you
very much, Wrangler. Let me play something real quick.
I'm sure it'll be worth
thing ever, right? There we go. A little bit tune. Appreciate your money, man. Thank you. It really supports me.
Been hoping for penis.
Whoa, what? No.
I was like, is he doing something nice? I was like, that's cool. No, of course there's a twist coming.
Ready it up.
So, she punches Carrie Jones, who is actually Magus Kunzite, and then she's getting ready to like fight her, and then it's Stefania shows up and punches Yaira, and so then they're fighting, and while they're fighting, Kunzite escapes, and Yaira says she's just sorry about.
I never liked the great granddaughter, and she hasn't had an opportunity for me to be like, oh no, I actually like her now. She's just been
and I don't know, even her being like absorbed into Alpha Core, just like, oh okay, but I don't know.
I did not like that.
Yeah,
I did not like.
I just don't really like her too much as a character, so that's a part of it, and I don't know, maybe it's like you said, there's just. In any case, they're fighting, and she's like, "Hey, I'm sorry about Carmen," and they're punching each other, and then Yaira like jumps out of the ocean, and some people get hit by the waves. I guess like that art there was a little bit confusing to me, and they're fighting a little bit more. Joshua shows up, and then Joshua punches Stefania, so he gets in there. So it's like,
it's like I already have whiplash
to the fight. Yeah.
Like I already have whiplash because I'm like we it was kind of confusing what the fuck was going on in Yaira 2 right at the end, And they're like, yeah, we just punched out the reporter, and then all of a sudden the
reporter's not the
daughter
reporter.
attacks.
But,
Yeah. And then
Joshua-
the boring ass boyfriend attacks her, and then like, okay, now we're gonna jump in the water. Alpha Core's following.
Yes, and then Alpha Core shows up. Alpha Core just rolls in. I'm like, okay, Alpha Core's here now, and then like everybody's going to the ocean. So they go into the ocean because those wraiths are down there. So Yaira knows she can pawn off the battle to them, so she can escape. So it's just like, holy
But
crap,
also,
there's
like,
so much happening in like the first 4
How
pages.
far is it to Atlantis? It's Atlantis, right?
Although
Is it like right? It
Yeah.
seemed like the way that
they
if
got
you were
the point.
just to see this page, it'd be like, but it's like, isn't this like really far away? Like,
fine, yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure. And I do like in this panel, at least it reveals that Ingrid, Brian, and Braxwell, I guess they can all like hold their breath super long underwater and swim like she can.
yeah.
So I thought that was kind of interesting. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. They have that power too.
But also, why are they even?
And like,
Why is Yaira bothering?
oh, they have
ever
breathers on.
to?
Okay.
Yeah, they
I
have
didn't notice
breathers.
that until now.
Why are they bothering to go down in a submarine down to Neptune or whatever it's called when Yaira could just
It's because as
scout it out beforehand?
I guess. I think it's because just as Sally Rodell, she has to go down. She has to be like human. But I like when they get down there, Stefania goes, "Evil spirits." Like I know what those are, guys. I've seen evil spirits before. That's
and
what
then
those
next
are.
thing you know, we're in Projexis,
Yeah. So it's,
and I'm just
she
like,
says they
whoa,
escaped,
what
yeah.
what happened with the skeleton things? Are we just to assume that like they are like, oh no, we're not gonna like? I don't like. I'm confused.
I think we were supposed to see that Alpha Core probably fought them, and these Yaira and her and Yeshua escaped. And I mean, I guess Alpha Core didn't win. They probably just like went away eventually.
These are unkillable soldiers.
Yeah. So they probably like Brian was probably like, this we should probably just go back to the surface, is my guess. So Solari does a press conference then where let's see, there projects this. Yaira gets scolded by like the dude at the in charge of like the funding, I think, is that dude. And
Yeah.
but she says they found a cure for death down there, she thinks, because there's like a mortal creature.
Yeah, you just
and then
become a
also
zombie.
Neptune's wife. But if you could like prevent that but get all the benefits, you might be onto something. So the guy's like, oh, nice. And so that happens. Then we see Stefania, and she's in a tent. And Solari scolds her, so Yaira got yelled at, and then Solari's yelling at
Okay.
Stefania and tells her to stop being so rebellious. That she's gonna be like a team member. She's got to stop being like doing her own thing. She's got to be like on the team.
And this is probably some of the most annoying parts with the Yaira, right? The Yaira comics is that whenever Brian Solari's kind of got lines, it doesn't feel like Brian Solari. It feels like an attempt to be. It just. I don't feel like that this is how the character that I've seen that Chuck Dixon has written would act in these parts. It just doesn't. Especially, I just can't stand how he's like failing at getting the subordinate in control, or even allowing her to as much freedom as she has. I just feel like Brian Solari he's the leader. He's the badass leader that is able to get people, to do what they need to do. And it's just, he's getting tripped up by this like little brat, I mean, it's different in Great War Separation, where it's just like he has to bring together these ragtag people that don't really have any experience, but it's like, yeah, but he has no other option. You know what I mean? Like he has options now. He's not war. But
So after that, Yaira gets, or as Sally Rodell, she gets into the well, she's doing Yaira things though. So she gets on this ship. They're gonna go down there, I guess, to get the girl and stuff. And but whenever they're heading down to there, and she's with Yashua, she's like, I'm gonna go to sleep and I'm gonna like fight the wraiths in Sleep World. So she goes there, and this is the page you point out. The colors here are cool in this like section. There's like this cool spirally kind of liney purple art. That's pretty neat.
pause
Some pretty
though.
pages.
Yeah. It's some great colors, But pause. We just
Time out.
quickly, we're just like, oh yeah, we're going to go to the astral realm. That's the thing?
I think.
And
in the last
YAIRA,
book,
why
she
can YAIRA do it? Well, I guess we find out later that she's a magic person. But I'm like,
well, in the previous book, she discovered that it was like whenever she was sleeping, it was some other realm. So I guess she just figured out like how to get back there, and there's things she could do to that.
but that's
I don't know,
because it's like somebody was like haunting her nightmares. That makes sense. Her being able to just tap into it, like reverse searching something like that. What? Just let me just do this real quick. Have you done it for? No, I'm just done. What? What?
Yeah. I'm like
And then
halfway to
it's not,
it makes
it's
sense,
not
but
even
not
different.
completely.
It's the same. It just teleports her. Like, I'm so confused. Like, it doesn't do anything.
But she goes down there and she basically is like, "Hey, don't you remember? Was it your mom is imprisoned? You should help me fight and like free her." And they're like, "No." And then she fights him. And I like the one page. She just if I can't see right there, just poke.
Oh,
Give him the old poke. That's effective.
Yeah.
So she pokes him and does like this typhoon. I think it's the word. It's like an underwater tornado thing. And then she gets the guy's sword and she's like, "Hey, you got to join here and remember your mom." And they go from that panel to now they're on her side. So they're gonna help her fight.
And then this happens.
And then
this
Nightmare
happens.
Queen Magus Kunzite shows up.
Kunzite, yeah.
Yeah. So and then
It's a dope
she shows
panel.
up.
It's a dope ass panel.
Yeah.
But I'm
definitely
also
a
just
long
like, I
story
can't
fight.
believe these undead zombies just submitted. Like,
So then I think it's back in the real world. They have touchdown and says the recovery is successful and the voyage has begun its ascent, and the rescue vessel will be reaching the surface. So the thing she was riding down on, so she's like fighting in Nightmare Land, but in the real world they picked up Lady Cleto of Atlantis, Neptune's wife. So she like pops out and she's got his trident, and they're like, "Hey, nice to meet you." She's like, "What's up?" And then it goes back to the fighting of the Kunzite, and they're fighting, but then she wakes up, and she wakes up to the real world, pretty sure, if I'm tracking correctly. But when she wakes up, she's in, like, energy chains.
yeah.
And Yeshua is like, I wish you would have slept through that. And there's a lady with him, which I guess the lady...
That was
that
the
lady
reporter.
Oh, it is. Oh, so it must be.
Yeah.
So it's Kunzite.
Kunzite.
Okay, so it's like real world Kunzite. And then there's a flashback to the Buddhist void, the Booty's void, many years ago. So it goes back to this flashback to Booty's voids halls of forsaken crystal magi, and there's a sorcerer dude talking to Kunzite about Iolite, and then we learn that Iolite is YAIRA, and YAIRA joined these people at some point, and then killed the sorcerer Numite later on, and because of that, a blood oath must be paid. And I guess because she left, that's why they came after her and stuff. So she was a part of this crew. So she left like the YAIRA people, I think, and then ended up with the Magus people for a while, and then left them too. And then that they came after, and that's like the first book I think started with all that
It's
stuff.
too much. It's
And then the different
yeah.
names too. I'm like, okay, Nightmare, Magus, Kunzite, and then YAIRA is YAIRA, but she's also Sally, but she's
can't wait.
Iolite.
I
and then
honestly would
Yeshua.
love if Larry Shungite actually ends up being a Magus.
He better be a Magus. That'd be awesome. His finisher, he just like power drives the guy and he explodes or something.
It was so obvious. He had an "ite" in his name.
The great sorcerer back in the was it the Magi, the Dark Hall of Void or whatever. The reporter lady, Kunzite. Kunzite was seeing the main sorcerer dude, whose name escapes me. I don't see on the page. So
Paynite?
they were together. What is it?
The
Numenite?
main,
Numite? I
like the flaming skull, Paynite.
Not that guy. Numite.
Ah.
It was the guy from the other book that she killed. I think it was Numite.
Yeah.
So Numite and Kunzite were like seeing each other, and YAIRA as Iolite was there, and they have a conversation, and I think it was just like, don't worry about it. It's not an issue. He's like, I trust Iolite or whatever. So then we cut back to present day YAIRA in chains, back on the boat, and she's like, "Hey, untie me," and then you knew this was coming, and Yeshua is like, "Iolite, what's this about?" And he's like, "You joined the Forsaken Crystal Magi when you left home." So Yeshua learns that YAIRA joined the Forsaken Crystal Magi, and so he's learning this for the first time. And then,
But weren't there other like YAIRA people from the first book? They were with Newmite, right?
the YAIRA people from the first book.
Yeah.
There was 3 people that came. It was like Newmite, Kunzite, and one other.
No,
dude.
no. In the first YAIRA book, you had
Yeah.
2 people that had like YAIRA powers, ice powers, which I assume is the same race.
I think they were just magic people, but I think it was it was Kunzite.
No, they were
Newmite, and there was
literally
one
like
other
they
dude.
had the blue tipped hair and everything.
Yeah.
like they were YAIRA's people.
Maybe they were also people that left.
So
YAIRA land
Newmite
and
was
become-
working with him because they had similar goals. They all wanted YAIRA.
Oh, okay. So then YAIRA, the Nightmare Kunzite, is like, "Hey, you killed my lover. I begged to be the one who came to you." And YAIRA's like, "I didn't know you guys were still together. My bad." So they're fighting, and Joshua says YAIRA betrayed everyone, so he's gonna let the council deal with her. And then you have like this page where, he says, "How could I? You betrayed all of us." And then there's a page where we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15 little circles of like dialogue to fill in backstory. This is the kind of thing we're saying sometimes it's just a lot of words. It's like,
Well,
15
again,
little
we're having
dialogue
so
bubbles,
much
like, fill it all
stuff
back
thrown
in.
at us, so many
Yeah.
revelations, and it's just like it
a
needs to be consolidated into better. It needs to be not told in this disjointed manner. You know.
So he says all that stuff, and YAIRA says, "Ooh, the High Council, that'll be fun." And then Kunzo wants me dead. Yeshua wants me to bring me. Who'll be the tiebreakers? And so she's saying like this is going on, and then she's like, "Oh, don't mind me. I'll just hang tight while you figure out it amongst yourselves." And she's like in the chains, like that kind of like sassy dialogue right there was just felt, I don't know, didn't land right.
Well, they
for
start
me.
fighting each other because they're like, did you guys not know that this was gonna happen when you teamed up
Yeah.
to kill
So-
YAIRA? Yeah.
Yesh starts fighting Kunzite. He's like, "I warned you," and she's got her like worm parts all over him, and he's pulling on him, and he's doing like the blue hair tip thing. And he's like, "I warned you about the levels of disrespect." And so they're fighting. And then he says, "I will teach you reverence with which the name Yanessa must be uttered." So Yanessa must have been the other one. Kunzite,
I can't
Newmite,
remember
and
which one
Yanessa?
Yanessa is.
She was in the fire. I think they have a flashback coming up here. I think where they show her again.
Why was she so great? I don't know. What?
And then
Yeah, 'cause I'm like, I'd have to
someone's
reread
feeling a little
YAIRA one.
overconfident. How about a reality check from the Queen of Nightmares, love? Like that line too. Just I don't know. That's why the
cheesy.
tone is confusing. Then we're back to the surface in the middle of that fight. We're going back to the surface for a page, and once we're back up there, Cleto says something where she seems like she's confused. Right? She's like, "You, Lady Cleto, are indeed one of the long-lost treasures of Atlantis." And she's like shocked face, and she's saying, "I am Cleto, the Queen Mother of Atlantis." And then the dude is going to touch the trident she brought up. She's like, "No, don't touch it. Lord Neptune will be very angry if he knows that his possession has been touched. And Neptune, he always knows." So I didn't know. I thought that was like significant, but then they do touch it later on. Altona touches it. So, anyways, so they're fighting, and Yasha was just like, Yanessa was a goddess, and Magus Newmite was an insect. So they're fighting, and then that keeps going on.
And she
And,
summons her.
He was saying that you only dated him for like power and status, and she yells at him. He had an amazing personality. And it's just like I couldn't.
Yeah, it's
the
a corny
tone was
joke.
so confusing to me. I'm like, are we fighting to the death, or is this like I don't know. It's just I
Yeah,
didn't.
the
get it.
colors are great.
it's
no,
really
she
awesome
summons.
panels.
She summons her dead skeleton warriors out of nowhere, and I'm like, okay,
Oh yeah, that's right.
because we're told later that we're told that she's she's a magus herself. So I'm like, how many powers are we gonna give YAIRA? Like, she's already like the strongest. She has crazy ice powers, and she's a magic user too.
I guess so.
Like, and
So she
I'm not a
summons the
fan.
wraith. Yeah, it's a lot. So she just focuses and brings the wraiths up, like you said. Then they beat up and they capture Yashua and Kunzite, and she takes them to Solari instead of killing them.
Mm-hmm.
So she takes them to
character
Solari,
growth.
and let's see, capture them, takes them to Solari, and she's like, put them in like wherever you guys were going to contain me when you caught me. Just like put them in that type of cage, so that they can't get out. What could go wrong? So then we go back to Cleto, and YAIRA's there, and they hug, and then the chief of operations is there, but he's actually Magus Paynite. So he transforms and is like, oh, what the heck? And Altona leaves, and Cleto leaves, I believe, or maybe Altona doesn't leave.
Yeah,
YAIRA gets
this
burned up
dude's-
a little bit though.
This
YAIRA's
dude's
like,
just too cheesy, man. Little one, how could you forget the name of the great Magus Paynite, sworn leader of the Forsaken Crystal Magi, and harbinger of your doom?
Yeah. He's got a lot of lines like that. I, Magus Paynite, am the Forsaken Crystal Magi, and I promise you pain.
Pain.
And so he's like burning her. Yeah, he likes to say his name whenever he's like doing this stuff. That's what I'm saying. If it's like a fun Saturday morning cartoon, that kind of dialogue would be perfect. But I'm like, wait, like people have died, so I just get confused.
Yeah, pick a tone. I don't know. Well,
Okay,
it's also
and
like what's the tone of the Rippaverse too? Because these are very closely connected to ISM and stuff. So I feel like, yeah, the word pain was overused. Yeah, that was the first thing I noticed when I'm like, I am Magus Paynite of the Forsaken Crystal Magi, and I promise you, pain. Like, dude, no. Did you have to name him Paynite? Come on. Was there not a better name?
Yeah. So they cut to the military prison. I guess Alpha Core has already taken the Kunzite and Yashua, and they got them in cells there, and they're still like fighting with each other. And then she's like, YAIRA's got to pay with her blood. She took our laws, and then she is able to. Kunzite is able to break out of her cell. Which I'm like, that was super easy, barely an inconvenience, right? So she gets out, and she said, "It's too late for them. The Prince of Pain has arrived, and it's time for them all to suffer." So that happens, and then it's Stefania, and Stefania's having a nightmare now. And in Stefania's nightmare, which I was looking at these panels, there's tons of like those little mosquito-looking critters flying everywhere. Do you think they have to draw every single one of those? 'Cause there's a lot.
I was literally just thinking about that right now. I mean,
like
copy
hundreds of
paste.
them. Do they have a brush where you just like click and it just like scatter paints bugs everywhere? Anyways, that's
Bugs.
neither here nor there.
I'm gonna assume copy and paste happened.
Yeah, I would hope so
Right.
for the sake of the artist. He's just working on this one panel for like 3 years. He's like, I gotta draw another 300 of these mosquitoes.
3,000 insects.
I will know the meaning of pain.
Pain.
So she has this nightmare, and YAIRA's sitting over the dead grandma, and Stefania's like, no. And then somebody says, too late again, child. It's like you might as well have killed her yourself. So that happens, and then we go back to, and then we're back, and Ingrid Valdez sees that Kunzite has escaped, and Alpha Core is like, yo, we got to go help YAIRA. This is not going to go well. So Solari's like, what up? Yep. All right, we're on it. So they're going there, and then let's see. Is this whenever they? So YAIRA's
She's fighting
fighting.
Pain Knight.
She got. I swear
Chaos
the
and
clothes got all burned off
pain.
in that previous panel. Oh, maybe not. I thought she was the lighting looked like her clothes were all burned off. Okay, so she's fighting again, and Pain Knight's doing his thing, and
Little witch, you are no match for the immortal Prince of Pain.
So he shows her a vision of like everybody dying and stuff, and he's like, "Why don't you just join everybody?" And then she turns on her YAIRA gear, and then Kunzite shows up, and Yesha was there. So she's fighting Painite, but then those two show back up again, and
I can't believe that he's still working with her. Like, why does he think this is a good idea?
then Alpha Core shows up. So Alpha Core is there, and
Wait, but here's wait. And this is I just remembered like the big issue I had. Like he had really big issues with her joining the Magi, but he's gonna work with them to capture her.
Yeah.
What sense does that make? Why, if you hate her for joining them, why would you join with them to fight her?
I don't know. I do.
What? Yeah. Anyway, sorry.
I do like though with these panels with Solari, even if it doesn't sound exactly like the way he might talk in the other books he's in, he keeps being like, he's like, I have an option better than death, jail. And he's like, I'm guessing this one is the leader, which also means jail, just straight to jail, straight to jail. So that's what I'm like in my head. I'm like, nice. He did the straight to jail meme. I'm a fan.
Straight to jail.
So they're fighting, and Alpha Core is fighting Kunzite, and Braxwell is beating up on Painite. So they're helping out, turning the
When's
tables.
Goonite gonna join the foot, huh?
He's gonna be Larry Shungite's tag partner, Goonite. And I will read that book. It'll be hilarious. All right, so they're all fighting and stuff, and they're doing like YAIRA powers, and Yashua's trying to blast YAIRA, and everybody's fighting, and then Altona grabs the trident they're not supposed to grab because it'll make Neptune mad, and she chucks it at YAIRA, and YAIRA grabs it, and what happens whenever she grabs it?
She turns into a Valkyrie?
Yeah, she turns into that, which is a really cool design with all the wings and stuff, but I'm like, wait, the trident transforms her, and you get this, like just this one little panel over here, and I'm like, it's such a cool, like, what is it, like when you give Jigglypuff Moonstone? I'm missing the Pokemon reference, and it evolves, and it's like, oh, cool, but like give a half-page spread to that at least. Would be nice.
Yeah, a full page at least.
Yeah, that would be definitely have more weight.
Yeah, I don't understand like a Valkyrie is like Sephiron-ish, not Sephiron, whatever. I don't get the design choice and what that has to. No, I meant whatever the angel.
I know.
Yeah. Seraphim design, and what that has to do with like Neptune and the ocean is like because Neptune came from like a Viking thing. Is that going to be a thing? Like,
yeah, I'm not sure.
It's just that just confuses me, and also again, it's like, yeah, I don't know. You need to at least tell me why this happened, and not just be like, yep, that happened. Move on.
And then, the Painite grabs Yashua and is like, hey, YAIRA, you owe us a black sorcerer because you killed the other one. So we're going to take this dude. So their Painite turns Yeshua into a black sorcerer. And then YAIRA
I just wish I cared about him. I wish I cared about him. But he's making a stupid decision to be in there in the first place, and he was just boring the whole time. Like, otherwise, this might have been a cool choice transition.
Yeah. So Kunzite is then over YAIRA, and she's like, they're like overwhelming her senses and stuff. And then let's see, Trident, design, Sasha and Bales. Oh yeah, and then YAIRA, instead of killing Kunzite, she uses her YAIRA powers and freezes Kunzite. And then she talks to Solari. What'd she say to Solari? She'll live. She's just frozen. And I'm kind of like, I don't know. Oh, what's the bet? Why not just take her out at that point? Is it supposed to be like YAIRA grew and changed? Like she realized killing people caused problems, so she's not going to kill people anymore? Is that what we're supposed to take away there?
Yeah, I suppose.
I don't know if she doesn't want problems with Alpha Core or what. And she's like, take this as a gesture of goodwill. And then she gives back the trident and she de-transforms. And then later on, she's still having visions of Yeshua. I love the panel here where Yeshua's like, cheesy smile. And then right next to him is the sorcerer. It's just an awesome side-by-side. I don't know if I can Right there. This one. These
Oh
two.
yeah. No.
He's just like big cheese, and then he's like a zombie mode over there. Is good. That made me laugh. All right. So then Lady Cleto shows up and says her husband's gonna be coming, and they should be worried because Pay Knight's like, it's gonna be a problem. Then we go to where Pay Knight is, like in his realm in the Booties Void, and he's watching. He's like, "Oh, YAIRA, shouldn't you be scared?" But then we get introduced to all these other ites. He's got his team here, and some of these designs are really cool. Like none of them are weak, but some are like Selenite looks awesome. She's sort of like, she looks like a scary movie bride, where she's got the veil.
We get a
over
bigger
the
panel
head,
of her.
and then
They're
she
all
pops
really
up
dope
afterward.
designs. Yeah.
And Zeolite's got like a million swords stabbing into his body, which I assume he's going to take out and fight with. So that's going to be cool. There's just a lot of really interesting looking character designs that you're introduced to in these last couple of pages. Like, well, who are all these people? That's cool. So they're talking.
Again, it's a bit of a whiplash where it's just like all over the place.
It's just like, yeah,
and then,
more.
Not to mention, it's like you should be scared of my husband. You're not sure you think, because of who he really is. And it's like when we find out, it's like, oh, he's Pay Knight. It's like, but she already fought Pay Knight. Not that she won, right? Because that'd be a whole different thing if she already beat him once. But like, this is not an unknown enemy to her.
Right.
I will mention, because I forgot to mention before, there's a panel where like he kind of has like spiderish legs that come out, but like at some point he pulls out like a scythe to fight, and then he has like 4 arms that come out of his like dress that have like scythes and like a helicopter. And I'm like, this looks ridiculous. His design is the worst of the group. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you got all these really cool looking guys, and then you got the leader. I'm like, what's his design, man?
That's Selenite down there.
Oh,
The
yeah.
camera won't focus, but it's cool. She looks like, again, like a ghost from some kind of scary movie type thing. I really like that design. They are talking. She's talking to Pay Knight, and she says, when Zaylin interfered, we thought all was lost. So I'm like, Zaylin fought these dudes too? So I felt like
Oh,
Zaylin
that was an
local.
interesting tie-in. That Zaylin.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's hinted like, did they create Zaylin? Because it sounds like they had a failure with Zaylin. I'm like, oh, did they create Zaylin and he ended up not being what they wanted? Or they had some. I really got that intrigued me, especially because I like where Zaylin's going. So yeah, cool note there.
And then we get the transformation, as you alluded to, that Pay Knight is actually Neptune.
Ooh.
He's been Neptune all along.
Yeah. And now the real pain begins.
The pain.
The pain. Bow, bow. Bow, 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 bow. Oh, shit.
And then that's the end. Then we get to the end of YAIRA 3. The pain.
All right. YAIRA 3.
Yay.
Yeah. It's just like, when I go through that story, very similar to YAIRA 2, where I'm just like, but like not in a good way. Sometimes you do that and you're like, oh my God, this is awesome. This is awesome.
Yeah.
And this is just like, wait, this is a thing? And like, what does that have to do with the other thing? And how is this going to play? And it like brings up more questions, but questions you're like where you have to ask, like, is this stupid or is this not stupid? And that's not the questions you want to be like asking.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of cool things here. The way it was presented just didn't click with me. People love the YAIRA series though. I've seen like hanging out in the Rippaverse Discord and stuff. A lot of people are like, yo, YAIRA is where it's at. I love those stories. They're great. So
She
they're
got the
resonating with
bootay.
some people. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Who's paying out?
yeah, obviously not everyone's going to share our opinion. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
we could love the Horseman and other people could look at it and be like, yeah, not for me, fam. Which, whatever. You're wrong, but it happens. I confirm, yes, Evely's stupid. Yes, thank you. He's not that bad. He's hanging out with me, so.
I'm not a smart man.
I'm not a smart man. Yeah, I know a lot of people like really like her character design. I think she's got a good character design.
Yeah, I think it's really cool. Especially when she does the whole, what did you call him, Sephiroth?
Yeah, the Valkyrie look. Yeah.
Sephiroth's cousin, he's lesser known. Sephiroth.
Yeah, I just wish it wasn't so disjointed. I don't know, like maybe focus more on the great granddaughter. And don't be jumping all over the place with all these different like plot lines that are kind of like loose. I don't know. It just feels like we got a ball, and the ball is the YAIRA plot, and somebody just threw it into a big huge box, and it's just. I feel like that's like what the story is. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Now, a question I have, and I guess there's no way to know without actually seeing what YAIRA 4 looks like. But at this point, are you like, I'm done with this character? Or if you saw like, if the next book was more focused, you'd be like, okay, I'm back on board. It's a rough start, but I'm back on board. Or are you just like, I'm done?
I think I would need more faith put into me from the YAIRA sisters,
I know what you mean.
Well,
jeez,
no, for me that's an
an
adjacent issue to my dyslexia, word association and shit. Well, if you ever notice, I have like the worst word recall like ever that's ever existed. It's related to my dyslexia. But no, I need more from the Saska sisters. I need more Larry Shungite. And then it's like, and then it might be a thing where it's just like certain writers write certain type of stories better. And then so I might look at a book being produced by the Saska sisters and be like, oh yeah, they do good in this type of stuff. Like if there's another wrestling book, I'd probably gonna be like, yeah, this is probably gonna be good. Because they write these stories well. People have the strengths and the weaknesses. I just don't know what's going on with YAIRA, and maybe it's too big picture. Maybe that's what's going on. Like maybe the really big picture stories are not their strong suit. I gotta remember to talk about them as they are two people, not one.
If I ever get to talk to them, I'm going to call them the YAIRA sisters.
Yes.
So a question from Merc Lounge says, the point of Stefania is for us to hate her right now. Do y'all hate her for the right reasons or the wrong reasons? My take is, I don't know. I just felt like I got to reread YAIRA 1, but in my memory, her being a part of Alpha Corps just felt sort of like we just wanted to be a part of Alpha Corps. There wasn't like a training process or a trial. It was just like, oh, you're Alpha Corps now. I remember it happening sort of like that. Maybe that's not quite totally right. But
no,
there certainly wasn't an extended process of like, no, Alpha Corps is a very elite unit. We have to put you through this.
It's YAIRA 2, I think, but
okay,
yeah, no, that's basically what happened. What I really hate about her characters, because what it does to the other characters, like Brian, is because like her disobedience in the squad is to highlight that, is to show how like Brian Solari being a bad leader, and I don't see that from Brian Solari, so it kind of confuses me, and I don't like it. No, but I do like how you phrase that question. Do we hate her for the right or wrong reasons? Because there's this whole thing where it comes to story writing, people are like, when they argue for something that's obvious crap, fucking Avatar, Legend of Korra, they'll be like, well, the writers meant to do this. You're like, the character's really is a bitch, and she's unbearable, and they're like, yeah, no, don't you know Korra's supposed to be a bitch? She's supposed to be a terrible character. And I'm like, that's how they wrote it. I'm like, okay, intention doesn't equal good. Just because they intended for her to be an annoying character doesn't make it good writing. And I think people conflate that all the time. So I think, yeah, maybe they are intending to write this character for Stefania for us to hate her. but we're not hating her in the right way, you know? I think it's like, I kind of hate the villain from the Horseman book right now, right? Because of what he did to that Hector's neighbor, killed that 15-year-old girl from a drug overdose, right? That's hating a character for the right reason, because you're like, oh, this is good story writing, you know? I'm hating Stefania because I'm seeing bad story writing. Yeah. Anything to add?
No, like I said, I don't know. Her character never really I didn't really connect with her to begin with, and then it's like now she's an Alpha Core. I'm like, oh, I like Alpha Core though. Now she's there, and she's just like, I gotta fight Yaira. It's just I don't know. I didn't connect with her, so I didn't really care much about what was going on with her, and she was a pretty major figure in that. And I'm like, okay, and
she's not human.
She's not human.
Yeah.
Oh, you
not
mean
human.
like she's?
Well, like you're not going to connect. It's more difficult to make you relate to a non-human character.
Wait,
generally
is
speaking,
Stefania not human?
Oh, sorry, I thought you were talking about Yaira. Sorry.
Oh no, Stefania, yeah. No, Yaira. Yeah, I asked you the question earlier if you were done with it, or to me, if Yaira 4 looks cool, and honestly, it really depends too what else is out. Like even right now, I'm just like, holy crap. I need to get Horseman 1 or Horseman 2. I need to get Great War Separation 3. I need to get Alpha Core. So that's like you're pushing like $70 right there. So
yeah. I'm not gonna get. I mean, I think we already weren't gonna get Yaira 3. Like we already talked about that. We just only got it because of the Zaylan discount. And it was like, well, might as well throw it on. For
throw it as like $8.
Yeah.
Like sure, yeah. If it was cheaper, I'd be willing. That it would be less of an issue. It's just that once you get shipping and everything, and you're like looking at like $25-$30 a book, so it's a little bit harder to just pull the trigger on everything.
Yeah, but I'm cool with like Yaira popping up in another random character and story and not knowing what's been happening in Yaira. You know what I mean? I'm cool. I don't care. Like, and this kind of is what happened with Bloodruth, right? Like, if I don't see Bloodruth's story, she's obviously going to be popping up in a bunch of other people's stories. And I'm like, cool, that's how I experienced the character. Cool, because I'm not going to get Bloodruth 1 didn't sell me. You know, I had the problems with that. And yeah, so it's just and that one mainly, I think Bloodruth is better than Yaira. It's just you know me with my fantasy, because it was the type of story I judged it harder.
Right.
Yeah.
If there is another deep sale though, if they have another Zaylan type thing or like a summer clearance deal down the road where you can get the books for cheap, I'll probably pick them up. For me,
yeah, there's a good chance. Yeah, there's a good chance of that. Yeah.
I'm not totally sold, but I don't think that means that I wouldn't enjoy it on some level. But it's just more of a okay. You only have so much funds for this sort of hobby, and like I said, there's so many other books I got to pick up first. So if I get a bit of a discount, I would pick them up for sure. But yeah, it just gets expensive.
It is what it is. Yeah, I mean, like Rippaverse is producing a lot, you know, and there's a lot. There's some good stuff, and that's why I'm like, man, I really hope Norfolk knocks it out of the park. It's gonna be like, this is gonna mean if Eric can pull it off, it can mean that he's another writer in the Rippaverse that can hit some some home runs. And I want for writers to be involved with the universe I'm investing in to hit home runs. I don't think the Sasuke sisters are hitting home runs, obviously. I think Larry Shunkai was a good story. It's a short story, right? But you know, maybe if I got a full Larry, I would buy a full Larry Shunkai story.
I would do.
A lot of people really like Bloodruth. Yeah, I know I am the minority on this. It is because I am a fantasy. What's the word? I'm stingy. About my the way. Snobby. Yeah. You see, remember how I said I have like the worst recall? There's an actual like
But I've
thing
never,
about
I've never seen you have like this issue before. You've said it before, but I've never seen it. I think it's just because you're you know a little bit under the weather and things like that. It's just,
No. I know I've done it like a
All right,
thousand
well,
times.
if you say
You
so.
probably just don't notice because I don't point it out. Or what happens is you'll see me dwell, and the word I say is not the word that I was looking for. I just said like another word instead of the see right there. I said another word instead of like the like euthanized type word or whatever that I was looking for. So whatever. That's about me.
Bloodruth to me, she's very similar to Yaira in the sense that I'm reading the book and I'm like, there's some cool ideas here. I don't know if you completely agree, but like she's got a dragon, like that's cool. Her outfit's neat.
Yeah.
She's got books that can do anything, it seems like. So it's like that's cool. Her powers are sort of cryptic, and I'm like, okay, there's cool things going on here, but there's just so much. It's like now she's fighting this tick girl, and now she's fighting this schoolgirl ogre, and now she's fighting this other monster. Now there's an angel, and now there's a vampire, and it's just like take it down like 20%, and I'd be totally on board. It's so much, and I guess that's what people like about it is you don't know what the next page is going to be because it's just like so much crap. But so
Well,
I
you
do
get
like things
people
about that
like-
character. I just need a little bit more focus with it, and I'd be way more on board.
We get people like Royce, or Drink with Crazy. And I get this from some stories where he's just, I just want to see the guy hit the next guy harder than he hit the other guy. I just, and then I feel like that's what you're getting with a lot of the Sasuke sisters books, which might be why people like it. It's just like, I just want to see him hit him hard. I don't give a fuck about explanation. And I'm like, no, like what's, like I'm asking, like, look, I don't want to sound like I have my head shoved all the way up my fucking ass smelling my farts, but like, I'm like, what's the theme, Like, what theme am I getting from this? What does this character say about what? No, that's going way too far up the fucking artsy talk. But I'm looking for plot threads and stuff like that. I don't want to sound like too douchey when I describe this. But yeah, but yeah, no, people like what they want to like, And if it's if they're like, yeah, no, I really like it when Yaira just pulled out a bunch of ghost soldiers and they fucked up that dude. I was like, type shit. I'm like, yo, that's really cool, I don't really. Wait, how did she enter the astral?
He was pizza spinning his scythes around. That was wild.
Yo, dude, like Yaira just she's like, I need to enter the astral realm, and so she did it, and then she punched this giant spider thing. That was type shit, and I'm like, but like, how did you get to the astral realm to even do that? I'm like, bro, why are you asking this fucking question, you queer? Like, you fucking, did you see how hard she hit it? And like, did you see the, that's what you like. That's what you like, dude. No shame. I'm like, like.
Now I'm wondering, like, with the trident too, does the trident turn everybody into a Sephiron? Or is it
look, dude? I don't give a
or-
shit. Like, dude, it turned
if-
her into fucking Valkyrie hero. Like, that was fucking awesome.
What if there's like a Atlantis axe and she gets that and it turns it into a different kind of like cool upgrade, or she gets like a hammer?
Like Mega Man-esque, kind of like different forms.
Yeah. So there's like different suits, and does it only
Type
change?
shit.
That's what I'm saying. Right.
Type shit, dude.
Although Altona didn't turn into an angel when she picked it up.
I don't fucking know, man. It's like, again, it's like one of these things where it's trying to make the reader be like, ooh, but why did that happen? I think that's what they're doing. And like, I have to ask the question, is that what they're doing? They're trying to make us ask questions so we get interested in learning more? Or is it just they didn't think about that? And that's where it's like, are we asking the right questions? You're like, I shouldn't be questioning if it was this intentional or is this stupid?
Right.
That's
But
not
now
the
I'm-
questions you want people to ask.
But now I'm like, oh man, if there are just like enchanted weapons that transform the wielder, that is kind of cool.
Yeah, that's dope. That sounds fucking dope. Yeah, different weapons. Well, I mean, everybody likes like the yeah, you got like different weapons from like different gods, right? Like the Poseidon has the trident, and it grants you these water powers and water armor or whatever. And then you got Apollo, the sun god, and if you can get his sword, you'll get fire powers and fire armor, and so on and so forth. That's cool. It's type shit.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else you want to say before we sign off?
I guess our next review will probably be Norfolka, right?
Norfolka, yeah. I think I'm going to get it this weekend.
Oh, nice. And then after that, I don't know. I think it's up in the air for a little while, right?
It's interesting. So, to be honest, Zaylan was definitely not for me. It wasn't bad, but just like the movie John Carter from 2012, everyone liked it, but not me. I loved some aspects from the book, though. Yeah, I mean, I said it was like the weakest story from what's his name? Chuck Dixon. But bro, the colors and the art of that book was next level. Yeah. It just was wowing me. So I can understand, like, because I did have some like story plot complaints, so I can totally understand where you're at in that. I was just completely here I am talking shit about people being like, I just want to see people get punched harder, and then like I'm like, but Zaylan, did you see the colors? Like, whoa. But yeah, that's why I it was crazy. But yeah, and I get how you could get that whiplash feeling too from Zaylan as well. There was a bit of that, yeah. But anyways, guys, I'm gonna keep freaking Everly. What he does is he just hangs on. Is like, okay, guys, when are we gonna end this?
No, it's
I'm
Friday.
trying to get to sleep.
I don't have to wake up in the morning. It's weeknights. If it was any day but Friday, honestly, I'd be like, all right, this is so it's actually a treat that this was today, because I can, it's not that big a deal. Not that I want to be up till like 1 in the morning, but
no. But it's been great. Thanks for joining us. Those who did, appreciate it. Wrangler for the 420. Thanks, man.
Yeah, Wrangler.
Somebody's giving cash out here, man, helping me support the channel. It's fucking awesome.
Buying you monsters.
Yeah, I don't know, man. We're gonna keep this up. We're gonna keep up the reviews. I don't know if we're gonna review something with Norfolk. Keep it short, but and then Fridays in general, I'm trying to do the Comics Crusade thing. This is kind of a part of that. Yeah, but this, that's the non-committal comic show that we're just trying to have like a weekly talk. So you can always catch me on someone's channel on Friday. It's not always gonna be my channel, like Ravon's channel sometimes. But guys, it's been great. Where is it?
Remember, son, lying is gay.
Yeah, have a good night, everybody.
Yes, father.
Please like, subscribe. Don't be gay. All right. Later, guys.